everyone, it's Julia. Thank you everybody who's joining me today. I have another textile card. This is a free printable over on my website, and I'll have that link down below for you. And then I also did the card base too, with a couple sentiments, a love and joy and a Merry Christmas. More about that later. You can just print that off on a card stock. And that's over there also on that same link. I am going to be tracing this now, and I have a Kona cotton in the color Snow, which is a little bit of an off-white color. I have interfaced the back of it with a medium weight interfacing, and I'm going to be tracing this. Now I can see through it pretty well. I'm going to be putting some clips in here just to keep everything together while I trace it. I am going to be using my heat erase pens for this, and I am going to be taking this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to be stitching using free motion stitching. This is what my pens look like, and they just all the marks will come off with my iron afterwards. And you do want to make sure you test everything just to make sure everything goes away. If you don't want to do the free motion, I would recommend using these pit pens and just trace everything with a pit pen. They do come in a pack of 4, and they're 4 different size nibs. You might want to use the extra small nib or the whichever one works best for you for this. And I am just tracing. Now I have my light pad here that I'm tracing this on with. I love this. This is my new little gadget. Again, everything will be linked down below if you're interested. But you can certainly take this to a window too, and I'm sure you'll be able to see through this just fine to do this tracing. Just getting everything traced onto my fabric. And this is what it looks like. I did it in a blue pen, and I do want to add some warm and natural batting to the back of this. I want more of a quilted look. You probably wouldn't have to add this batting with that interfacing on the back, but I wanted more of a quilt look, so I did add it. I'm to my sewing machine now, and I have my feed dogs dropped, so I'm going to be doing all the movement on this. My stitch length is at 0, and again I am just following the lines here. I get off and it's fine. It's not going to be perfect. All those lines will disappear with the heat or the iron afterwards. I do have a bobbin thread in the bobbin, and I am using a lighter weight thread on the top. It was the only brown thread I had, and I did want to use brown thread for this. This is, I believe, in 50 weight, and it's an embroidery thread, which is a rayon. This is a rayon thread. But use what you have. I mean, an all-purpose thread would be a little bit heavier, but you can certainly use it for this as well. Now on this design, everything is connected, so you shouldn't have to break your thread or restart over. You know, you don't have to do that. You are going to probably have to do some backtracking. Especially when you're me and you completely forget something on the opposite side, which I've done, and you'll see I've had to backtrack and go back to something. But I do like to do my design, circle everything more than once anyway, so it's fine. Just getting ready for Thanksgiving here in the United States, and for those of you who celebrate, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and I will let you know that this has been a strange year. Our table is going to be a little smaller. Some of our family will not be able to make it, but it's good. I'm just erasing all those marks. I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for my YouTube channel and thankful for this community. So happy Thanksgiving, those who celebrate. I'm going to be adding this color with just watercolor, and also a little bit of Arteza fabric paint. I love this light gold fabric paint. It just adds a real fun sparkle. I have my Koya water set here. This is just a student grade. If you have a watercolor palette, it'll work. Just I'm using lots of water. I really like the watercolor look on fabric. And of course, this is not a washable thing at all. It's just going to be put on paper basically. And so I'm just activating with water. I'm not using fabric medium at all. I am wetting my area first with a little bit of clear water and then adding the paint. You can experiment with this. Sometimes it'll just absorb into the fiber and maybe move a little bit more than you want it to if you add the water first. But I kind of like that look. I don't really like keeping everything inside the lines. Doing all the red first, and then I'll go on to the green. And I do let this dry in between layers and then add another layer just to give it some more vibrancy. Watercolor will definitely dry a lot lighter. Went on to it. This is an olive green color. I believe the red was a cadmium red. And now I'm adding some Parisian blue to this sage green, and just so it's really a pretty blue green, and I do like adding that color especially for holiday leaves. I think it just adds a nice look. And then that Parisian blue, I'm just getting some on my palette there. And this palette is just a white plate that I got at the Dollar Tree or the thrift store. I do like looking for white plates. It makes a wonderful palette. It's all dry, and I'm back in now with some yellow just to add some yellow to the centers. And then another layer of some of the red just to give it a little bit more vibrancy. Everything is dry again, and I'm really adding a lot of water, and I'm splattering. I have a size 12 brush here. It's a bigger brush. And now I went on to my smaller brush, and I'm using some of that gold paint. This is the Arteza fabric paint. The fabric paint for Arteza does have some fabric media in it already. And I love this metallic. It just dries. It's just sparkly. Just really adds some festivity to the look. Did add some of that to the leaves and to some of the petals as well, just to give that sparkle. Now everything is dry, and I'm just squaring up the edges and getting everything even. And I'm cutting right down the middle of this, and then I will be cutting this into fourths. So it's approximately 2.5 inches that I'm cutting at this slice. So this is going to make 8 cards basically, and these cards are the 4 by 5.5 cards. Cutting that right down the center. Just using my cutter for that, so I'm cutting at 5.5 inches. And then I am folding this. This is the cream colored cardstock. And I'm just putting these on with a double-sided tape. It just holds it really well. And this is more of a craft colored cardstock, and again adding it with tape. Another thing you can do is stamp. If you have Christmas sentiments, it'd be really nice for this project. And it just slips right into one of the envelopes. Thank you everybody who's joined me. I hope you have a chance to create some cards this Christmas. Here's some final pictures. And again, happy Thanksgiving everybody. Bye for now.